Welcome to the Raw Epics channel once again. If you followed our recent videos, you know that I tried to do a live stream of my first ever ride with this new bike. It didn't go too well, and I'm happy to admit that I'm going to do a proper first ride with you guys today. Alright, if you guys want to check out the exact specs of this bike in a bike check, please check out the link in the description below. I'm going to go for a lap, maybe 2 laps of Bukit Timah trail today. The weather's pretty cool today. No rain. It's been pretty humid though. So without much further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to share my first thoughts, first impressions of how the bike feels. And if you have any questions to ask, please feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. More than happy to answer them as soon as this video comes out. So the main things I'll be looking at will be how this bike actually feels different from my old bike, which is a Yeti SB6. And in terms of climbing, descending, cornering, riding on rough terrain, as well as maybe getting into the air and how it feels. We are only doing a lap of Bukit Timah today, so we will not be doing things in the nature of like huge drops or big jumps. So Trail Plus are the ones who built this amazing bike. They are open during this circuit breaker period, which is really cool, by appointment only. Trail Plus also offers delivery and pickup of your bike, so to save you the hassle as well as to keep you safe at home. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, stay safe during this circuit breaker period. Alright, let's get to it. So the first thing that's blowing me away about this bike is that I'm finally able to do this. You see? Grab a drink and put it back. Yes, this SB150 comes with its mount for a bottle holder, which is amazing. So but I really like to show you this particular exercise. I usually bring clients here to train their vision as well as their decision making, as well as how much they can actually stay off the brakes. And the key thing about this is that you can actually roll from this part of the trail all the way to the end without taking a single pedal stroke. So let's see how well this bike actually rolls. Alright, that means from this entry point, I'm not going to take a single pedal stroke. We'll just see how well the new SB150 actually carries speed through this section. It seems slow, but it's actually going to pick up right about now. Alright. So as you may already know, the SB150 is a 29er bike. '29ers are reputed to be able to roll over things much easier compared to a bike with smaller wheels. So compared to my previous bike, which was a SB6 with 27.5 wheels, this one seems to get over the lumpy bits much easier. The places where you think it's going to stall, it actually just carries through. A rough section like that isn't much of an issue. Keep in mind that the ground is a little bit wet today. Ooh, I'm not sure if it's going to go. I'm trying my best to not get this guy to stall out here. I think we can just manage. The ground is a little bit wet. I think we're going to manage this. Alright, so we've come to the end of this trail. And yeah, first test done. So this bike does roll through that area without taking a single pedal stroke. Even though the ground was really wet. I would try the same thing on my old bike. There is a higher chance that the old bike would not have made it through that, being smaller wheels and all. There was one particular point after the first sharp corner where I nearly stalled out, but the bike picked up speed right away. So I think that's a really interesting insight within the first minute of riding a bike. So for those of you who are wondering at home, the new bike I'm riding here is a SB150. It's a medium-sized frame, Turk series. So it's a little bit lighter than the carbon series frame. It's a full carbon bike with 150 mils of rear suspension. The bike is built up as an enduro long travel trail bike. So it really has the legs to go hard and go fast. 29 wheels front and back. A little bit about the weight of the bike. This bike actually comes in at 15.3 kilograms with pedals on. Almost a full kilogram heavier than the old bike, which is the SB6. So I can tell you, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely feel the weight of the bike, especially when I'm going uphill. So this particular climb is along the Beluga track of the Bukit Timah trail. And what's immediately apparent is where the steep seat post angle puts the seat when I'm in a climbing position. So I usually sit towards the nose of the saddle when I'm climbing. But in this particular case, this particular bike doesn't have any This particular bike doesn't have any squirrely behavior when I'm going up. It's actually pretty stable. I tend to ride quite forward a lot, so you can have a look. I actually set my saddle in quite neutral position compared to the old bike where the saddle had to be rammed all the way backwards to give me sufficient space. The bike is not really twitchy, going left and right. I don't have a very short stem. It's a 45mm stem from VR1 Composites, paired together with a VR1 Composites bar. Yeah, so it feels pretty good for now. To share that first climb. Let's see how the descent feels. You may have noticed that I'm using a different dropper lever from what I usually use. So this is a Pacific Northwest or PNW Components remote dropper. It's paired with a PNW Components bachelor seat post. So the seat post has 150mm of travel and it feels just about right. I don't really need a longer travel seat post really. This is pretty good. So I'm gonna go down this rough section now. Sorry. Can't really go fast there because you can see how people are actually on the middle of the trail. Not all of them are riders too, so that's a bit of a concern, especially during this circuit breaking period. Let's try and stay safe out there, folks. If you're actually out riding, you definitely want to make sure that you don't incur an injury that lands you in hospital, because that will just put additional strain on an already stressed medical system where we have all our heroic doctors, nurses, orderlies and other healthcare professionals trying their best to contain the coronavirus outbreak. So I really appreciate it if you can exercise caution when you're out doing your activities, including mountain biking. Now we haven't really had any hard cornering yet, but that's soon to change. There's a slightly technical climb coming up here, so we'll see how we go with that. I'll just go straight over the roots here and then up here again. It's not too bad. I think it carries its momentum well. I wasn't really coming in with a lot of momentum, so there's a bit of paddling just through that root section there. Okay, so over here, the so-called stairway to heaven. I'm just gonna go in real slow, so you have to rely on really much on the technique more than anything to get up this. Alright, here we go. Again, the bike is very well behaved on the climbs, which is really surprising. I pretty much sat down the entire time, and at no point did I raise my bum off the seat. So it's really a bit of an eye-opener riding this bike uphill. So as you may have noticed, I'm using a slightly different shifter from my 11-speed Shimano. This is actually a 12-speed shifter. So yep, my drivetrain now goes up to 12. And I just like the shifting of XTR shifter. So the way the XTR shifter behaves, especially once you reach the end of your range, the biggest cog in the back, is that you keep pressing. Once you reach the biggest cog, it doesn't go anymore. As you can see, my thumb can't move the lever anymore. Whereas previously, the 11-speed shifter, when you reach the end, it will just have a lot of free play in that lever, that shift lever. So something different, something to get used to. I'm really enjoying the silicone texture on the buttons of the shifter. So that's a plus. There's no need for me to put like skateboard grip tape on the shifter at all. It does save my gloves. And it prevents this sort of thing from happening, you see? I'm just glad to be able to go out and ride right now. Just enjoy the fresh air. Oh, here we are coming to a corner. That corner is actually pretty good. It carried speed quite well through that bumpy section there. So I'm happy to see how else the bike performs here. Okay, a couple of ledges are coming up, so we'll just pick up the pace a little bit, see what happens. Not much fuss. And yes, before you guys are asking, I actually got my first crash out of the way yesterday as well. So the bike is properly baptized. It can only get better from here. Okay, straight over this edge. You'll notice in the rough corners, we actually need a little bit more body English. And you can't really see from the camera's POV, but I'm actually moving my bum way over to one side when I'm deep into the corner, so that actually helps bringing the entire bike around and finishing off the corner. Alright, you guys will be familiar with this part of the world, Hindhede car park, where most people come here to have a bit of a rest. We are just going to continue riding. So I'm purposely going to go up this slope like real slow. So it's more of a technical climb up here. I'm not in a crazy hard gear. That's easy enough to make sure I get up over this. Whoop, whoop. That was, I almost had a track stand pretty much, but somehow the grip just happened. The grip stuck. So before we go any further, reminded me I need to do this. We are still trying to set the tubeless tires for this particular bike, so I need to let out air. I let out some air on the front before I left home. Now I need to do the same for the back. I really should get a digital tire gauge, but oh well, we just have to do aggravation for now. Okay, this is the first proper technical uphill turn that this bike is facing now. So I'm going to come in with a little bit more momentum for this one. Oh, it got around pretty easy. Luckily I let out the air in the rear tire just in time. Okay, let's see what I can do with this A-line over here. Woo! Oh man, the bike feels big but not overly big, you know. That's the thing about when you're riding technical terrain where braking distances are short and the corners are tight. It really does help to have a bike that's sized just nice and not too reachy. Okay, we gotta go the corner by the correct way. So it's another tight corner here, which is fine. Oh, I just love how that front view rolls over the roots and rocks so easily. I don't have bars which are too wide anyway, so I think having bars which are a bit on the narrower side really helps with the precision control, especially in technical terrain and when there are trees really nearby. So my bars are cut down to 750mm or 75 centimeters. I think that's perfect. They're just 1 centimeter wider than the bars on the SB6. So I think it's pretty balanced. I'm not sure if I want to shorten them anymore. I probably could, but for now I'm feeling pretty happy with the bar length. It's an interesting section here. Up and over. I don't think it's particularly hard to lift the front view of this bike. Again, I think the cockpit length has a lot to do with it. So I measured from the tip of my saddle all the way to where the handlebar is, next to the stem over here. Same measurement, even though my SB6 is a small and this is a medium. So I attribute this to two things. The slightly slacker head angle of this bike, as well as a steeper top tube. And whereas I had my seat rammed all the way backwards on the old bike, on the new bike, ooh, this is the correct way. As I was saying, on the new bike, I kind of set everything more or less neutral and it's been a great fit for me so far. I prefer to stretch out a bit more. I don't want to be too cramped when I'm on the bike, especially riding longer distances, which can happen. Alright, this is the correct way, come on. So pedaling up rough stuff like that, I find that you really don't need to put the shock into a lockout position. The bike tracks really well, and one thing that's characteristic of Yeti frames is that they don't bob a whole lot. The suspension sits really high in the travel for the rear, and I think that's awesome. Alright, what say you we hit that double drop after the tunnel? Woo! Okay, my first time on this bike. Ooh! It feels really planted on the landing though, it's really amazing. So I'm quite impressed with that. Hi, hello. Yeah. Let's keep going down. Here's a nice gnarly rock garden to play with. I did some minor adjustments to the cockpit yesterday evening after the ride, so the follow-up ride today is much better. So I'm just noticing the bike's behavior on the climbs here. I'm actually going pretty slow. Not much in the way of squirreliness. I feel the bike is really well behaved. I'm actually used to riding a quite forward position most of the time. So even technical terrain like this, hi there. So technical terrain like that is not much of an issue. When you go around the corner like that, sometimes having too wide bars can restrict your movement. You run out of range on your arms. So again, having slightly narrower bars really helps. Let's send it over this one. Ooh. Wow! Pretty much jumped into that rock garden there. I'm confident of doing that because I'm actually running rim inserts. So the rim inserts seem to be doing their job so far. I'm more than happy to let a bit of air out of the tires and go smashing into rocks. But again, that's not the main point. The main point is to have sufficient traction on the wheels. So let's go to the next A line. Drop and rock, also known as the 7 drops here at Bukit Timah. Let's see how we're going to put the saddle all the way down. Purposely go over the rocks here. Let's see how the bike handles the stability in the rocks here. Wow, amazing. I'm so happy with this bike. Oh my goodness. It's really less scribbly, and I feel that the bike wants to point in a straight line rather than having the wheel buck side to side like that. So standing pedaling, bike's really planted. I can feel my bum just hovering over the nose of the saddle there, and I see that back down again, you see. So there's actually very little change from the standing pedaling position and the seated position, or rather a more powerful seated position where you're not in the middle of the saddle but a bit more forward of the saddle. So yeah, I'm really happy with the setup. I don't think I need to change my saddle position right now, which is great. Another drink from the trusty bottle cage. Seriously, the bottle cage is becoming my new favorite feature on the bike. So people are probably asking, what suspension am I running? I'm actually running D-Rail suspension, front and rear. You can check it out more in the bike check video. The link is in the description below. But I can tell you a bit more about the settings of the suspension now. The fork is set to 170mm of travel. It's a DVO Onyx single crown. The travel is adjustable from 160 to 180, so I've left it somewhere in the middle now. The rear shock is a Topaz T3 Air. Very simple shock. Simpler is better. There's no need for the complication of a Fox X2 in my opinion. I've been very happy with my Topaz on my old bike, and this one should be no different. The settings are slightly different, so you look at the bike check video, you'll see the exact settings of the suspension listed in the description. So I encourage you to watch that video if you want a bit more insight about the exact setup of the bike. For now, let's just enjoy the riding, hey. I love this section, it's so technical here. And it's also a tight corner, the tricky corner here. So I tend to go through the middle like that. Oh, this route's really going to play with you, huh? Flat corner. Oh man. When a bike picks up speed, I tell you, the bike just wants to go in a straight line, so you're actually braking quite a lot into the corner. And before the corner even. You know, just want to haul and anchor a little bit more. Speaking of brakes, I'm running a XTR front and rear brakes. I have a 200mm rotor on the front and a 180 on the back. I probably don't need to go much bigger on the back, so this is fine as it is. So coming back down, I can just say that one more time, the bottle cage is my most favorite feature. Love it. And here we are again, just finished one loop of the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve mountain bike trail. Hey guys, thanks very much for joining me on that ride. I loved it for my first ride. I hope you love it too, and that might inspire you to get out and try new things. Maybe get a new bike, I don't know. If you want to find out more about this bike again, once again, please check out the bike check video which I have. Link is in the description down below, as well as in the top right hand corner which you see right about now. Thanks very much once again. Stay healthy, stay safe during this circuit breaker period. Practice safe social distancing. Ride solo as much as possible, and most importantly, remember that together we can do this and fight the COVID-19. Alright, cheers. That was really good. I think I'm actually going to go for a second lap now. Ooh, different way.